Republicans and Democrats coming together now in a push for criminal justice reform. Senate now moving to bring the bill to the floor for a vote. Iowa Republican Chuck Grassley, chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Sir, welcome and thank you for your time and a Merry Christmas to you. Why is this important? What's it going to do for America?
Well, it's got two parts. One, sentencing reform. It maintains mandatory minimums, which makes sure that judges all across the country have to have uniform sentencing. But there's some unfairness in sentencing. So people that are in prison that think they were unfairly sentenced with maybe a 25-year sentence and they think it ought to be a 15-year sentence, they can go back before the judge, plead a case, maybe get help, maybe not get help. But it does give another bite at the apple when there's unfairness. And then the other part of it is prison reform. And the prison reform part is based upon good experiences come out of Texas, Mississippi, and Georgia, and a few other states where they have trained people within prison so when they get out they can get a job and be productive, and then they don't commit crimes, and then you don't put them back in prison and have the high cost of prison. So you save the taxpayers money, you reduce crime, and you have people that were in prison have productive jobs outside and hopefully become good citizens.
Here is Tom Cotton, Senator, on why he thinks Democrats should oppose that bill. Listen.
Is anyone else surprised that the Democrats are prepared to support a bill that will cut Michael Cohen's sentence by up to a third? I'm shocked the Democrats are going to support a bill that will cut Michael Cohen's sentence by up to a third.
And what was sort of a rare moment where he stopped in the hallway to talk to reporters, he said that. How do you respond?
Yeah, it's easy to respond to. I told my friend Senator Cotton yesterday, I said, you know, I just looked at the record. You and I agree 93% of the time. And he says, well, I must be wrong 7% of the time. This is an instance when he's wrong. This is an instance, this whole bill is a perfect instance of how the legislative process ought to work. First of all, you got to do something bipartisan. So we've got a broad bipartisan coalition within the Congress. You've got a broad coalition of groups outside the Congress, on the left from the ACLU, on the right from the American Conservative Union, and everything in between. And then in order to get a bill signed, you got to get a president on board. So we worked weeks and weeks to have President Trump comfortable with us. And then I'm told by the majority leader, you got to have at least 60 votes. So we get about 75 votes now. And then they say, well, you got to get it through the House of Representatives. So we pre-conference it with Goodlatte, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. And if this bill gets through the Senate, they're going to put it on suspension and get it through the House of Representatives. So we've done everything that you need to do in a bipartisan, bicameral, working with the president. That's what Congress is supposed to do, and we've done it in this bill.
It's a lot of sausage.
Yes, a lot of sausage.
On the Mueller matter, you know what happened yesterday? Michael Cohen.
Yes.
You've got questions on what happens with General Flynn on Tuesday of next week. Maybe the sentencing takes place. Maybe it's delayed. Where do you think we are now, sir, after the information that went public yesterday?
Remember why Mueller was set up? Mueller was set up as a special counsel to look at was there any collusion and any influence of Russia through the Trump campaign and influencing the election. Maybe Mueller knows something I don't, but looking for everything I can, plus looking at experts that watch it 24 hours a day, there's been no evidence of collusion at this point. So I don't think anything's impacted the president at this point. And if there's anything about Cohen yesterday that indirectly affects the president, remember the information came from a guy that was a liar and accused of lying to the Congress of the United States. So how much credibility do you want to put in the words of a liar?
Meanwhile, the judge demanding these FBI memos on the Flynn interview. In the broader context of this investigation, how does this change things?
I'm not sure I can comment on that. I'm sorry, I can't comment on that.
How come?
I don't know what she's talking about. If I'm supposed to know what she's talking about, then she'll have to put it in different context.
Entirely understood. We're not here to put you on the spot.
Okay.
In the Flynn matter, he's expected to be sentenced next Tuesday. And the judge overseeing the case, Flynn's attorneys have suggested that this was all a setup on behalf of the FBI at the White House. And so the judge has said, I want to see all the Mueller documents and make a ruling on this. And if you're coming at this from the dark, I won't push you an answer on this. But if that's the case and the judge, Emmett Sullivan, wants to see all this, could that change the Flynn matter for him?
Very definitely, but I think what I would relate it to is at one time before Flynn was actually charged, Comey was quoted in some form, I don't know if it was Congress or elsewhere, quoted in some form to where he said he didn't believe that Flynn was involved in anything that was illegal. So I keep that in the back of my mind as was people set up to lie? Was Flynn set up to lie and he lied? And then why did he settle if he didn't feel he lied? And then there's some evidence he wanted to make sure his son didn't get connected with it. So he took maybe the easy way out of saying he's going to work with Mueller.
Yeah. You know more about it than you think. Senator, thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming on. Hope you come back, okay? Chuck Grassley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.